much for joining us today. We got a great show lined up. We've got some guests here, and we're all excited to talk with them. But I got to say, Brother Robert, June 1st, you said it, first day of hurricane season, right? Isn't it? This is the first day of hurricane season.
That is absolutely correct, because it's from June to November. So
right. So, and it's supposed to be an extra special one. So everybody, I'm expecting that Sister Joy will definitely help us out, or I should say her husband will help us out with some hurricane tips coming up very soon. But of course, today we've got a great topic. And Sister Joy, would you tell us a little bit about our wonderful guests that are here and what we're talking about?
Absolutely. Thank you, Brother Jim. And yes, the time is just flying, isn't it, y'all? It is June 1st, and I'm going to have a hard time writing. I was just trying to get used to writing May, that we're in May. And I mean, even 2024, right? And we're already halfway through the year. Y'all, we have such an awesome topic that we're talking about. We are replaying back to a fun activity that we had over this week. I just can't believe it was just this week. The District of Florida, we held a regional Unity Games with competitors from the north side, the south side, the west side, and the east side of the regions of our state. Now, we were able to bring not only just the talent, but the unity. This was truly a Unity Games for the district. And it was just such a wonderful time for all of us to get together. And it wasn't just one specific sport. We did various board games, and we even had a Kadiwa Binhi, a CFO activity. Now, if you're just new joining with us, CFO stands for Christian Family Organizations, and this involves the married couples, our youth that are Kadiwa. And when we say Kadiwa, those are those that are not married yet, that are 18 years old and above, not yet married. Our Binhi, that's 17 years old, they're baptized and below, and they were able to join us and these like get-togethers and these friendship days, being able to bond. So we're really excited. We're going to be talking to some of our coordinators, some of our players, some of the organizers, and even some of us who were spectators. And we're going to share some of those perspectives for this really exciting event that we have. And we're going to go around the table. We're going to introduce some of those that were here with us. One of those that helped coordinate and organize on the back end some of our activities here, Brother Tristan. We have to, if you can kind of explain which region you were from, Brother Tristan. Welcome. We're so happy to have you here.
Good morning, sister. Thank you for having me. I'm Brother Tristan. I'm from the locale of Tampa, Florida, here in the District of Florida. I'm happy to be here today. Yes, in the Unity Games, I had the opportunity to sort of help out in coordinating mostly the volleyball games, and it was a really fun day. Even just having the opportunity to see all the brethren was really nice, and being able to do that was really a great experience.
When you say that you help coordinate, do you have like a little bit of do you have any background in the volleyball and like when it comes to like playing and things like that? Or is it just like a love and labor that you just wanted to just help out? And tell us a little bit about that.
Right. It's definitely more of the second option. I like to play for fun. I'm not very good at it, but yeah, I definitely like to play for fun. And before the actual day of the activity, of course, our region held practices together, and just the lead up to the event as well was really a great experience. Because this Unity Games was regional, it wasn't just our locale of Tampa. Our region of the South region was including the locales of Sarasota, St. Pete, and Lakeland, and just being able to meet with them every other weekend and practice volleyball, play some sports with them was really fun. And then on the day of, everybody was super pumped and super excited.
I love hearing that, and I'm sure that many of you all have heard that too. I mean, Brother Tristan is not a professional player, right? You don't have background, and I can relate because I don't either. But you participated, you helped coordinate, you helped organize this event, and you can see. Look, if you can see on our screen here, you can see. Look, that's the District Kadiwa right there, right? And you're part of that core who helped organize and plan this, and it's just. These activities, even though you don't have that background, we're all in it, and it's just really unity is really the bottom line of that, and that's wonderful to hear. And it's not just Tampa, you said, so you represented South. It wasn't just Tampa. South represented Tampa. Can you repeat again? Who else was Tampa?
Yes, Tampa, St. Pete, Sarasota, and Lakeland.
Wow. See, and look at that. And I'm sure, and we'll talk a little bit more about this too. I mean, there were two divisions, right? It wasn't just like Brother Tristan said, he represented the division of recreation, right? We had, was it recreation or competitive that you were part of?
I was on the competitive team.
Whoa!
He's a lot
That
more
is awesome.
professional than you thought he was,
I
isn't he?
know. Wait a minute. You made it to competitive. Whoa. That
Actually,
is awesome. Love it. That's some skills right there. So let's talk a little bit more about that. And I want to introduce one of our other guests here, Sister Christina Castellano.
Hi.
You helped. Thank you for joining us. We're so happy to have you. And one thing that we are delighted about is that you also helped coordinate and organize these events. Again, we kind of mentioned, right, that we had two divisions, competitive and recreation. And Brother Tristan, you're so humble. He said that he doesn't have this background yet. He represented the competitive side of it. Tell us a little bit more about when it came to planning, Sister Christina, the two divisions, because I will tell you from my perspective, um, the participation. I mean, we were only focused on volleyball, but the participation was just wow, incredible with a capital INC. I mean, there were so many participants for both divisions. So, can you tell us a little bit about how that planning went into that and organizing all that? Because it was great.
So this is my first Unity Games, like actually like part of like any planning committee.
Wow.
Um, but I would love to take all the credit for myself, but I did borrow the idea from another district. Uh,
That's okay. Love it.
so because I was from the District of Washington, DC, and I have like a good friend that I like always message volleyball stuff about, like from New Jersey. And in my head, I was like, from what I remember, and even like playing in other Unity games, like there's always such a disconnect with when you're trying to pull people to just have a team,
Hmm.
and like when there's some like locales that have like more professional people, like
Hmm.
you being one of the locales that like
Yeah,
are
that's me.
professional.
That's me.
So
I am not professional. I'm the one on the team that's
yeah,
like, I hit the ball, y'all. I got it over.
no, but I do feel like at least like there's something for everyone, like so at least there's a place for like the kids who are trying to learn, or like
Exactly.
the older sister who used to play a long time ago but doesn't want to play like that and still just wants to play for fun. Like I just thought it was great, like watching the rec finals, like some of those girls, like if they were on the regular locale team, like they probably wouldn't have even played, or if they were on their own in their own locale, they would have never experienced a finals feeling. So I felt like there was something for everyone, which I thought was
I
like the
I
best
think
part.
you just captured that because seeing I played on the recreation team, and I'll tell you the feeling and the atmosphere was a little lighter because it really was for fun. And a lot of like, for example, for I represented East, which was Orlando, Sanford, Kissimmee, Cocoa Beach, and a lot of the girls, we were mixed. I mean, I'm not a spring chicken anymore, but I'm also not old either. But I love playing. I love just being in the game with others who know, and I love to learn. So it was just so incredible to be around younger younger girls who were like, I want to learn how to play this, and they can play. They have that passion to want to learn, and they see our competitive side. They want to get there, and so they're learning, but we're also having fun at the same time. So it was just so nice to be able to be part of a group who were just like, yes, let's have fun. We're here for unity. We're here for the participation. And I mean, I wish I was able to include one of the pictures that we have. Our team, we lost, but we were so amazed at what we were able to do when we came together. And I know that I'm pretty sure I don't speak just for my rec team, but for all the other recreation teams that were together, this was such a wonderful opportunity just to get together. And then you talk about, right, the future. You're like, hey, let's get together again. Let's do this. So it kind of like leads up to more opportunities to be together, to get some, good physical fitness going, and then for future Unity games like this. So thank you. Thank you for putting my part.
Yeah, I'm really sorry that I missed this one because this would have meant with a recreational team that my shoes would have actually seen the court
Wow.
rather than sitting in
We're
the
going to hold
stand
you to that.
cheering. I would have, is there like what was it, like an A team and a B team? Is that how they were like divided? Is there like an E or an F team
I,
that
I I'm with you, brother.
yeah, you,
I'm taller, but I explained to the brother, and I said, yeah, I'm tall, but if I can only jump up 6 inches, and it doesn't really matter. If you're jumping up 2 foot, you're still above me. So, uh,
but
recreation
yeah,
sounds good to me.
but that, I honestly, though, that seems to be the feedback that I heard the most about this Unity games is the fact that
Mm.
players that typically aren't going to see court time are able to see court time. They were actually able to go in there and hit the ball and actually, if anything, just develop their skills in a competitive environment because you can practice all you want.
That's true.
Um,
Mhm.
but once you finally step on the court against and you're facing another team, that whole, the sort of that whole environment changes. And this is, I think, a wonderful experience, especially for beginners,
Yes,
beginner volleyball
it was
players.
really fun. I have to say this, and I know for many of you who are like who've played the game, it was so cute to see that after maybe once the rec team started playing, we had to be reminded, oh, you have to rotate. You know, it's our serve. Like, oh, is it our serve? Okay, they just wanted to hit the ball and just get it over and just have some fun. It's like rotate. Oh, don't forget, you have to stand over here. They're like, oh yeah, okay, got it. But it was just it was really nice. It was really I mean, for us, it was a really fun time, and I'm pretty sure for the competitive side, Brother Tristan, maybe you can chime in and let us know. I mean, this was an opportunity for them. They're like, yes, I'm with my brothers and sisters, and let's play. So it's like a really serious, and they were able to bring their skills to the court.
What the one thing I was Sister Marisol, I know that you have done a lot with coordinating and organizing this. Let me ask, just out of curiosity, because I love to see there's board games. There's such a variety of choices. So even if you're not athletic, you can still do a lot of different things. Scrabble, you see on there, ping pong. Yeah, how do you all choose the games? How is that determined?
Actually, Brother Jim, this time around, my coordination skills went fully to covering all of these different sports and events that were going on that day. And to be honest, because of the variety that you mentioned, it took a little bit of planning. Not only the ones that you mentioned, but we even had table tennis. There was also arm wrestling, badminton. So we really had to make sure, as on the media side, that we gave all of these events the spotlight that they deserved. And I'm really glad to see that we were able to capture the reactions. And with both the competitive and the recreational teams, we had more of those beautiful emotions and memories to capture on the camera. So I'm very grateful for the opportunity to see it from that lens.
Oh, that's awesome. I saw Sister Christina. So you're a recent you come down here to Florida, or how long have you been in our district?
So I am uh original SESB District of Florida girl. Actually, the last time I was here, it wasn't even Florida. It was still Southeastern
Southeastern
Seaboard.
Seaboard. Yeah.
um, but I've been in the District of Washington D.C. for the past I moved here last officially full time. I moved here last summer, probably September. So I at Unity Games, I don't know anyone anymore because everything is so different now. But so all the new locales was just I half of these weren't even here before. So
Plus, we've all gotten a lot older and a lot larger than the last time you were here. So you just didn't recognize us. We're all the same people.
But I think it's great, when you come from a like you mentioned, the participant idea and things like that. There's such a benefit to kind of going out and seeing how other people do things, and then coming back, especially if you get to come back home, and welcome back home. But you can share some of those different ideas, and that, yeah, makes a huge difference in all of these different activities. So, you know, thank you for suggesting that, because really, like I said, I may consider volleyball now if I
I
know
love
I'm
Brother
a
Jim.
Oh,
participant.
We are holding you all
we've got that
against
on camera. Mhm.
replay that one for the two of you, for Brother Robert and Brother Jim. We'll see you on the court next year, right?
That's right. Well, I wanted to just really quick, because we're talking about how this Unity Games was different because we actually had sort of these two teams, right? We had the competitive team, which is what we're typically accustomed to. And then
Mhm.
now we had sort of this more, I guess we would call it social, or what was it? Recreational team. And that becomes an opportunity for development for new players, right? And so I want to pose a question to Sister Audrey, because this year, for circumstances out of her control, she was unable to play. And by circumstances, we mean that she's pregnant. So,
Very
but-
pregnant.
circumstances beyond her control. But what she did have was the opportunity to coach. And a lot of the team from South that you were coaching, some of these folks are first timers, right? Or they're newbies, and they're folks that are just starting to, maybe they have an interest in volleyball, but now, they need to be able to develop their skills. What was that experience like, being able to now help, because you've been playing volleyball from way back in the day, right? I know, just like Sister Christina said, from SESB days, you guys have been playing volleyball.
Oh
So
yeah,
as
I mean,
veterans, what was it
it's
like?
a lot like what Sister Joy and Sister Christina said earlier. A lot of these players, a lot of these brethren that came out to participate in the recreational team have never even touched a volleyball. I mean,
Mhm.
they understand the concept of it, but this is them in action now. And I can't tell you how important even just getting your hands on the ball just increases your experience.
Yes.
So when we're in previous Unity games where it's just one team and the expectation is competitive, it's hard to get past that barrier of intimidation, of nervousness. You're in your head because it's a whole nother
Mhm.
environment when you're on the court versus practice, right? But we had shout out to Sister Gigi and Sister Clara from Lakeland. This is their first time because they're such a small locale. They don't have a team. So the fact that they were able to come out to Jacksonville and participate with a group of sisters and feel part of an event and have all that time for brotherhood and camaraderie, it was a lot of fun. I mean, just
That
like
is just, yes, that gets me right there. Yes, oh my, that is just such a wonderful example of how, like, you
yeah.
want to participate, you want to join, you're like, oh, but we don't have enough brethren to be able to form a team. That's right there. That's one of the other reasons why this was just such an incredible event. Everyone was able to participate. That just
Yeah,
gets
and it's a
me.
different game, right? You're not playing for different rotations, different strategies. You're not at that level. It's
Mhm.
just the basics of volleyball, communication and teamwork. And that's even though the technicality skills just aren't there yet, this is their first step to that. And hopefully, the outcome at which for all of our younger sisters in Team South, go Tampa Bay. So that's Pete and Sarasota and Lakeland. This is their first stepping stone and that spark to get them
Yeah.
excited and involved in a sport that I would say everyone in that building loves and invested in for many years.
Yes.
Well, I think
They're intrigued.
Florida is just, volleyball is huge. I mean, when people
Yes.
talk about volleyball, they usually associate much of it with California, California is a big volleyball place, right? But
Mhm.
I don't know. The
No, I
volleyball
think
game in Florida is
Florida.
huge, right?
Yes, it's
It's
big. It's big here too.
it's a big
And you'll
deal. I
never
mean,
know. Hopefully, aside from indoor volleyball, we'll probably progress to beach or sand because that's
There,
so popular here in
yeah.
our state of Florida. So
Mhm.
it's an exciting time. This Unity Games it was a new one for our district, and I think it really set a positive experience for everybody.
For sure.
well, congratulations to all of the organizers that helped put this together,
Mhm.
because I think that's just really, as Sister Joy's been putting it, really the theme behind these Unity games is to get as much participation as possible, and the development of these recreational teams, I think, gives that opportunity now for people who typically wouldn't be able to be able to participate. And I don't know, I for one though, brother Jim, in the spirit of participation, I want to volley, I want to rally, I want
See?
to I want to lobby for a pickleball tournament.
Oh,
We need a new
oh.
sport
There
to
you
be
go.
entered for those of us with knees that don't want to participate. We need. So I'm gonna, if you guys are in the chat there who are watching right now, if you think pickleball should become part of our Unity games in the next round, please throw a shout out in the chat. So how do you
You
feel about pickleball, Sister
please.
Christina?
No, I haven't like gotten into like the pickleball thing, but my husband's currently like deployed in like
Hmm.
middle of nowhere, Middle East, and he's like, "Hey, I just organized a pickleball tournament for everyone on base, so we're gonna play pickleball when I come back home." I was like, "Okay, so do I have to buy a paddle now?"
It's
Yeah, because
it's
we got everything Amazon here, and yeah, it was so fun. And I was like, "Okay, pickleball."
all
I
right.
think
So
this is the beginning,
pickleball
maybe.
lovers.
Let's form a team and let's try.
That's
And
right.
that's what this did, right? I mean, for brethren who, like what you said, Sister Audrey, I mean, they have no experience. Maybe they just, okay, let me just participate. And once you hit that ball, you're like, yeah, I can do this. I think there was a play I did. I hit the ball and I didn't realize it went backwards. And I'm like looking forward, like, where's the ball? Oh,
I had to I rushed that game, and you
you
were
did.
facing forward. I was like,
I
I
was
didn't
the only one facing
realize
forward.
what
Oh,
happened.
but it's okay if you don't remember because we actually have it on film. So
Do you really?
we're just going to replay it in the highlight
Oh my
reel for.
goodness, that is too funny. Yeah, I hit the ball and I'm like, I think I was the only one facing forward, and for a while it hit the roof or something. I'm like, where'd it go? And my whole team is like back there. They're like, it's back here.
But the upside is you hit the ball. So
Ye-
that's
Right.
oh,
They
yeah.
you know, that's 50% of the way. 50% is hit the ball. The other 50% is get the ball back over the net.
Oh, there you
So
go. I mean, it's 50-50 there. I think I can do that math.
that's awesome. Well, I mean, I know as we always say, we are the fastest 30 minutes on radio, and that's a tagline because it's true. And we're almost to the top of the hour here. Of course, we've got coming up next is our friends from South Central states that are going to be coming on. So we want to be sure that we give them time. But before we do that, Sister Christine, do you have any shout outs that you'd like to give to folks on air here?
Um, Actually, let me give a shout out to the West region, to all of them from Unity Games. That I'm so glad that they were there. I'm glad those girls went to finals. Speaking of like, seeing that spark, I saw that spark from those girls from the West when they were in finals. So I'm so glad they were there. I'm so glad they were in finals. And talking to some of them and the OGs, they're ready for next year, and I think that they'll bring
Yes.
it. So
Oh
shout
boy.
out to the West region, Fort Walton, Pensacola. I'm so glad you guys were there. I'm so happy for you guys. That's my
That's
shout out
awesome.
today.
Well, thank you. Thank you. And thank you for joining us today. What about you, brother Tristan? Any shout outs?
Definitely want to shout out all the coordination team for Unity Games, the District Kadiwa, of course, as well. Um, yeah, I know everybody worked really hard just to put the activity together and then just make sure that all the games kept flowing. So yeah, it was a great experience. Shout out to them.
Terrific. Great. And I know we've got a couple of minutes. So, Sister Audrey, can you maybe jump into the chats and see if we've got any chats here from any of our viewers today that we might want to recognize?
Yes. So we have Brother Ralfred Ledoux logging in from Orlando saying greetings. Hello, brethren, and shout out to all the amazing hosts from the Orlando congregation. We've got Sister Amy Fajardo. Hi, Call Amy from Jacksonville. And then Kalui, greetings, brothers and sisters. Happy viewing and listening from Tampa. A lot of Tampa brethren. Of course, our favorite viewer, Brother Adrian Abelgas. Good morning.
Way from
Very good
Vegas. Good morning. You're an early riser this morning. Hope you have your coffee.
And Sister Courtney from, I believe, East Jags. Hello, brethren. Good morning, Paul. And Sister Teresa Murph. Good morning from Kissimmee.
All right. Thank you very much. Well, that is it for today's show. We want to continually thank our guests for obviously joining us today here on INCRadio Florida. It was great recapping, and we're looking forward to next year's Unity Games,
Mhm.
which will probably have pickleball. I have a feeling that it will probably have pickleball, but I'm just putting it out there for everybody. But let's continue to support these activities, because we know that it is the core for those of us in the Church of Christ, is to have this unity and this fellowship, and to continue doing these activities. We want to thank the administration, of course. Sister Audrey, do you want to go ahead and read our acknowledgments before we
Yes,
wrap up
well,
today?
we'd like to extend our greetings and heartfelt thanks to our Executive Minister, Brother Eduardo V. Manalo, our CEBSI CEO and CFO Coordinator, Brother Angelo Aranya Manalo, and our Executive Producer, Brother Manley and Daya. Thank you so much for always supporting us on INCRadio Florida.
Thank you. And of course, Kuya Tech out there at the main studio, thanks for keeping us on air, making us look good, which sometimes can be a difficult job, but you do a wonderful job. Thanks, Kuya, for doing that. And of course, to all of our viewers, thanks for joining us today here on INCRadio Florida. I'm Brother Robert Topalis from here in Tampa, Florida, for Sister Joy there in Orlando, for Sister Audrey there in Tampa as well. Brother Jim, all the way out there in Pensacola, Sister Maricel, that's here in Tampa, and to our guest, Sister Christina and Brother Tristan, thanks for joining.